Hey, what's up everybody? Jake here and welcome to the hobby. In today's video we are talking about Terastal Festival and all of the special illustration rares that have been revealed inside of this upcoming set. A lot of these special illustration rares will make their way into the English set Prismatic Evolutions in January, so this will definitely be a sneak peek if you're interested in Prismatic Evolutions. A lot of these special illustration rares are going to be the big hits and potentially even the big duds, because obviously when Prismatic Evolutions come out, there's going to be 32 special illustration rares inside of the set, and not all special illustration rares are created equal. Some of them are going to be much more highly desirable than others, and that's going to depend on their popularity as well as the art and the pull rates on some of these cards. I'm assuming that all 32 special illustration rares have the exact same pull rates. They may not, but just depending on what kind of card you pull, some of these are going to be more desirable than other ones. So we've already talked about the Evolution ones. Everyone already knows about those and they look really gorgeous. There's been a couple of additional reveals where they've shown off higher detailed art of the cards and they look really fantastic. The Flareon EX I think looks a lot better than I give it credit for in the initial blurry picture that I got. But all of these are going to be top hitters. Definitely the Evolutions, regardless of which ones you pull. Some of them are definitely going to be more popular. Cough, cough, Umbreon. But you're going to want all of them. Pretty much any of them that you pull are going to be solid hitters. So beyond that, what other special illustrations rares are there? It looks like a lot of the special illustration rares that are inside of Terastal Festival and into Prismatic Evolutions are going to be repeat or reprints of prior special illustration rare cards like the Terapagos or the Blood Moon Ursaluna. All of these Pokemon have already received a special illustration rare art in prior sets like Twilight Masquerade, Stellar Crown, Paradox Rift, but they are getting a new reprinted art for all of these cards, which I'm kind of debating on, because if a card already has, or excuse me, if a Pokemon already has a special illustration rare art, I usually don't want it to receive a second one. They've done that many times, such as with the Greninja EX. It got a special illustration rare inside of Twilight Masquerade, and it got a really gorgeous promo card inside of Shrouded Fable. Both look really, really good. And a lot of special illustration rares do get reprinted art, but when a card already has an art piece, I try to not want more of it, because there are so many Pokemon out there that deserves love, and they've never received a special illustration rare. So I think that's my 60-second rant on it, and my little gripe with it is that a lot of these special illustration rares are repeat. So it makes sense, because obviously these cards are going by block, and not every single Pokemon has a trading card available right now. So they have limited options to choose from. And these are all big hitters. We got ourselves Ogerpon, Blood Moon Ursaluna, and Terapagos, as well as Goldango EX, and a couple of others were revealed a week or two ago, and all of these look really, really solid. I would say these are actually a little bit on the weaker end. If they were inside of their own set, I think these are all really cool, but compared to the Eevee Terastal Festival, they're definitely more muted. The art is just not on the same level. After these were revealed, we were revealed that there were some new full art trainer cards, which we were expecting anyway, and it looks to be these are going to be the Scarlet and Violet Evil Team cards inside of their school uniform. And I'll be honest, the first time I looked at these full art trainer cards, I was thinking, who are you? Who are you? Because I didn't recognize half of them, because they're not wearing their extravagant costume compared to their villain outfits, right? I think the biggest step down is probably Mela, because she looks nothing like her art. The other one is Aerie. You won't recognize Aerie at all. But at least with Aerie, I would say that her new full art trainer card would be considered a step up. Most of these full art trainer cards, I would say, are a step down, because their uniforms are actually kind of boring. They just look like normal average people. They lose a lot of their personalities, but I understand why they did it, so it's up to you. But I don't think these full art trainer cards are going to be really exciting, and these aren't even going to be the best full art special illustration rares inside of the set. There's going to be way better special illustration rares, I think, for the full art trainer cards, so I'm going to be excited to see some of those as more and more get revealed. After these were revealed, more special illustration rares Pokemon were revealed, and these are brand new. These are hot, fresh, right out of the ovens, and I really, really like these. Compared to some of the muted colors of the Ursaluna or the Ogerpon, I think these new arts are really, really fantastic, and they feature both the ancient and future versions of a lot of different Pokemon. So we got cards like Iron Hand and Iron Valiant for the future Pokemon, and I will say, compared to the future and ancient Pokemon, I think the ancient Pokemon has gotten the better hand on the art pieces. I think the ancient Pokemons look really, really solid. Some of the ones like Roaring Moon and Raging Bolt, these look absolutely fantastic. I think Roaring Moon and Raging Bolt blew me away. These art look so, so good. They are clearly going with a thematic theme going on here between the future and past. The future Pokemon all have very similar design, and the ancient Pokemon all have very similar design, even though they were drawn by completely separate artists. Perhaps the artists got together and actually came up with a coherent picture of how they want the theme to look, or maybe they were instructed on certain stylistic theme. It just depends, but it definitely looks like all of the future Pokemon follow the same sort of digital theme, and all the ancient Pokemon definitely have a more ancient or brown kind of theme to them, and the brush strokes definitely looks to be almost like an older art style. So they were clearly going with something different for both of these. And between the future and ancient art pieces, I definitely think the ancient Pokemon hit it out of the park. I think a lot of these arts are much more my style, and it's up to you whether you like the future or past, but I think obviously for me at least, the past ones just look way better, specifically Roaring Moon and Raging Bolt. Both of these look really fantastic. And as far as top hitters go, right below the evolution, I would probably put some of these ancient Pokemon. They just look that good. All of the art pieces look really solid, and these are top chase cards in their own respective sets, right? Roaring Moon EX, Raging Bolt EX, Iron Valiant EX, all these cards in their own respective sets are big chase cards on their own. And comparatively, inside of Terastal Festival, they're kind of taking a back seat, right? Even though these art pieces would absolutely be like $50 to $100 chase cards if they were inside of Paradox Rift or Twilight Masquerade, because they're inside of Terastal Festival, these top chase cards are now behind cards like the Sylveon EX and the Umbreon EX, which I think people would much rather prefer as top hitters. And because there are so many special illustration rares inside of this set, the top chase cards are going to be incredibly expensive. It's just the case of there being 32 special illustration rares. Even if the top pull rate, let's say the top pull rate was you pull one special illustration rare inside of every single 50 booster packs, that's a decent pull rate, because remember, special illustration rares inside of Stellar Crown, Surging Sparks, Twilight Masquerades are hard pull. They're usually like 1 in every 70 booster packs. So even if they increase the pull rate of 1 in every single 50 booster packs, the odds of you pulling a special illustration rare Umbreon is 1 in 32 multiplied by 1 in 50. So it's lower than 1 in 1,000 booster packs. So some of these top chase cards are going to be incredibly expensive depending on the pull rates. So it would not surprise me if the top chase cards, the most popular of the 32 available special illustration rare inside of Prismatic Evolutions, for them to go for hundreds of dollars. Wouldn't surprise me at all. If the Umbreon EX releases on day one and it's already a $600 card, that would not surprise me at this point, especially knowing that other chase cards like the Pikachu EX are still going for well over $500 plus, because of how expensive Prismatic Evolutions is, because of how many chase cards there are inside of it, and because of how hard some of these cards are going to be to pull, because there's just so many cards inside of the set. The more illustration rares, the more secret rares there are inside of a set, the more expensive the top chase cards are going to be. And that's just because of how brutally hard it is to get some of these cards. Think of it like Evolving Skies. Evolving Skies, it's just a normal set like any other set, but because there is so many secret rares inside of the set, even if you were to pull a secret rare or an alt art card inside of Evolving Skies, you're really unlikely to pull the Umbreon VMAX. There are so many secret rares that are just $40 cards. There are plenty of alt art cards inside of Evolving Skies that aren't even well over the $100 mark. So even if you pull one, you might not pull a big hit. And that's what I expect to happen with Prismatic Evolutions, is that we've been revealed all of these other secret rares, and they're all really solid, but because they're not the top chase cards, some of them are going to be more desirable than others. If I were to rank these, I would definitely say the Evolutions are the top tier ones, and after that, you're going to be wanting some of the future and past Pokemon, and there may be a loose special illustration rares inside there or two that really stands out and is super spectacular. This would be a scenario kind of like the Dragonite V from Evolving Skies. We really didn't expect the Dragonite V inside of Evolving Skies, but it's an adorable card and it's got a very strong following as well. So I expect something like that to happen with Terastal Festival and Prismatic Evolutions, where we still have around 12 special illustration rares that haven't been revealed yet. They'll most likely be revealed next week, right before the release of Terastal Festival, and I'll do an upcoming video reviewing the whole entire set, what I think are some of my top favorite cards from the set. But once those are revealed, there will probably be a couple of niche special illustration rares that are going to be fan favorites as well that are not the Evolution. So let me know what your thoughts are. Are you excited for Terastal Festival and Prismatic Evolutions? Do any of these other special illustration rares stand out to you? Let me know what your thoughts are, and I'll see you guys next time.